Welcome to another episode of the Kanokla Chatter.
I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Irma.
And we just had a wonderful visit with Shelly Hansel from SC here with us today to talk about the power of rural connections and her journey along the way.
It was a great conversation with Shelly where we took away useful nuggets of knowledge. Stay tuned and stay connected.
We are here with Shelly from Welly, Shelly Hansel. She works for SC. I guess that's what I want to call it now.
Yeah, the rebrand.
Yes, the rebrand. But she is here with us today to talk about a lot about her history and her path of where she's done for her job to all of her life adventures. So we're excited to hear about it.
Well, thank you, girls. I'm excited to be here. I love the two of you, as you both know, and I love Kanokla. When I took this job for SC, which used to be SC Telecom, we butt up right next to each other. And I told them, I said, I will do anything and everything for this company, but I will never say a bad word about Kanokla because I have too many friends and almost family. I mean, my mom is from here in Caldwell, and I can barely, mention somebody's name, and they're like, "Oh, I think that's your cousin." So it's
yes,
yeah. So.
I told someone this morning that we were interviewing you, and she was like, "I think we're related. I see her out at the Czech Cemetery during Memorial Weekend."
Yes. My parents and my grandparents, and most of my relatives are buried at the Czech Cemetery. Very proud of that. I mean. That's interesting why there is a Czech cemetery as opposed to the Czechs being buried in the Caldwell Cemetery, because back in the day, Czechs were they were the Bohemians. They were the outcasts. And so the regular folks in town didn't want the Czechs buried in their cemetery. So that's why you have the Czech Cemetery. That's why you have the Sokol Hall. That's why you have the ZCBJ Hall, which I don't think is standing any longer. But you had these places where the Czechs or the Bohemians had to gather because they were not welcomed into the regular folks' circles.
I did not know that.
I am
learning history today.
This is number 2 that I've learned from Shelly. Before we started this, I want y'all to know that I said, have you ever thought about being a teacher? Because she has so much knowledge. I've already learned so much this morning.
I don't know about a teacher, but I would definitely be your phone a friend.
Oh, that's me. I'm like, hey, Shelly, I need help with this. Or, hey, Shelly, who can I talk to about this?
I'm good at just a few things here and there. So.
Oh, but anyway, so You've had one of the most unique career paths that I've ever heard about.
That's a very positive way of putting it.
Yes. I mean, you've been from telephone to radio to serving as a mayor and then also leading the Chamber of Commerce, of driving economic development, and now helping tell the story of rural broadband. So that is a lot, and that's where we're going to dive into your journey.
My dad always said I had to be entertained 24/7, and I never liked to admit that he was right, but Dad, you were right.
Looking back, did you ever have like a plan of that's how you wanted to do it, or did each opportunity just lead you to the next?
Absolutely. I have a journalism degree, and I'm very proud of that, from the University of Kansas.
Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk is right. And part of it was I really didn't go there to do broadcasting. I went there because I love to write. And someday I do hope to, and someday soon I need to get it done. I want to write a book about like some of my adventures and things that people, when I tell them this really happened, they're like, no way. And I'm like, yes, it did. But what was really neat is I mentioned my father. My dad grew up in Emporia, and he was 53 when I was born, so he's much older father. He threw papers for the Emporia Gazette, which was owned at the time by William Allen White, William Allen White. So I was very motivated by that. I loved to write. I went to KU because, it was a family thing too, but also because they had a great journalism school. And I started getting into the different marketing and reporting and all of that, and I realized I could get paid to talk for a living, and I'm very good at talking.
I say that every day. People are like, do you love your job? I'm like, yes. If you know me, I love to talk.
Yeah. You love
talk to my friends.
People?
Yeah.
Yes. So I realized that this might be something for me. So I went the broadcast route, did a lot of radio, started off at WIBW in Topeka, as a KU summer intern. That turned into a weekend job while I was in my senior year at KU, which turned into another full-time job at Channel 12 in Wichita, which then I moved to Cake. And so everything I feel in my life has just happened because of connections and or things that I've done. And so, no, I certainly did not set out to do all of these crazy things, but I feel like it's kind of a great path that God put me on. And I just keep, praying every day, use me as an instrument, send me to the next adventure because I'm ready. And so it's been fun. And like I said, my dad was right. I really need to be entertained. I've tried sitting in an office, and I'm not very good at it. And the sad thing is my daughter has tried now to sit in an office, and she's not very good at it.
Oh, no. She needs to be one of those that needs to be entertained all the time.
Yeah. I've raised a mini-me. So anyway, no master plan, just whatever comes next.
Yeah. So you worked in television, local government, chambers, economic development. What common thread has connected all those? I know you say networking's huge for you.
Absolutely. I think people. Irma, you said it. I mean, I love to meet people. I love to tell people's stories. And I mean, from the very beginning, in reporting, I would tell, my favorite kind of stories were telling those, heartfelt stories, whether it be a lady who had lost her son was murdered, and she started a group of parents of murdered children. And I mean, she poured out her heart to me. And I feel like, if anything, I have a gift. The people love to tell me things. They love to open up. And so I love people. And I think that is certainly, I mean, in government, you have to represent your people. And if you're not, you probably should get out, because if you've got your own agenda, hint, hint, get the heck out. Hope some local or state and federal people are listening. No personal agendas. And Chambers all about business and helping businesses, and Eco Devo is great because you're taking people who have these great dreams and aspirations and helping them make them come true. So I feel like just relating to people, being able to listen, and just liking. I love to make things happen.
Yep.
So don't always work out, but I love to try.
You recently moved back to Wellington. What does coming home mean to you?
Well, I'm closer to you.
Thank you. I know, and we're working on making Wellington a better place.
We are. I think I've traveled so much, but nothing feels better than just being home. And it's not necessarily the physical structure. I mean, I love my house. I bought a cute little bungalow. Vaughn, my 16-year-old, thinks it's funny that I call it a bungalow. He doesn't understand that term, but I bought a great little house right on the block that I grew up on. And it's just knowing that if I needed to call somebody, that Irma or Michelle or my sister or my niece Julie or any of my friends can be there in 2 seconds, and they would.
That's always nice.
That's the cool part, because I know I can count on a ton of people in my circle, and my circle is much bigger in Wellington, Kansas than it is pretty much anywhere. So
even though anywhere you went, you would have made your own circle.
I do have a lot of circles.
Yes.
I guess you could call them ripples, like you throw a pebble, I'm like the pebble, and then I have all these ripples that go out from me.
So you've spent a lot of years telling the stories of rural Kansas. If someone had never visited a small town, what would you describe that makes rural communities so special?
Again, I'm going to go back to the people and the unique things that you will find in rural communities. I think rural communities have to do a bigger and better job of telling their story. So, like here in Caldwell, I mean, the turtles and the West, the Wild West, and the cowboys and all that stuff. You will discover some type of really cool history in every town you visit. Some do it better than others. I mean, Caldwell does such a great job of telling their story and their history. Wellington, when you go through town, you're going to see trains and you're going to see murals that tell the story of a railroading town, an ag town. I just think if you go to small towns, don't go to the chain store. Don't just go to the main drag or whatever. Go to the offbeat places, the paths. My sister, my kids and I, we have this thing. When we were in California one time, we went to eat at my nephews all wanted to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. And my sister's like, no, when we go to a small town, we go to where the locals go.
Yes.
And so we found this place called the Fish and Brew. And to this day, when we travel, my kids know that we are not going to eat at a chain. We're going to find the Fish and Brew in that town. And so I would just challenge everybody, hit the road and just look for the Fish and Brews.
There you go. That is, and I completely agree, because even antique stores and stuff, you can find history in those places.
Absolutely.
And the little Fish and Brew you're talking about, you can find history behind there.
Right. And Larry Hatterberg, who I worked with, and I'm very proud of that, and is just probably one of the greatest storytellers of all time. He always also suggested that you never go somewhere the same way you go back. So if I came here on South 81 and that way, I'm going to go back on 49, because you never know what you might find on that different path. So never come back the same way you went.
That's number 3 that I've learned from you.
I was going to say that.
All right.
Shelly's giving us.
I need a notebook of notes right here.
Maybe that's my book, Shelly's Nuggets.
Yes. I like it. I vote for yes.
Everybody will think they're getting chicken nuggets or something.
You've watched communities change over several decades, and I'm not trying to show your age. Don't.
No, it's fine. I'm 58. I'm all
so
good.
young. I love
Yes,
that.
young and beautiful.
Thriving.
What gives you the most hope about the future of rural America?
That we're here, that there are people who care about, and it's not just the people who grew up in these communities. It's the people who are here now that care so much about these communities. Irma mentioned earlier that, when I moved back to Wellington, I tried to get this group together because the negativity in Wellington, and it's not just Wellington, but all over, has kind of been rampant. And I have some thoughts about that. We, the people who have chosen rural by choice, as Marcy Pinner would say, have chosen to stay in our towns or move back to our towns, we've got to take them back, because those people don't represent my community, but they're just a little bit louder. They're just a little bit more organized right now, and I think we, the people, have to take back our communities, because they're great, and we're moving back, and we're doing things in our communities that are making a difference. And I'm sorry, but I wouldn't change growing up in a small town for anything.
I just told someone the other day, I went to college at Pittsburgh State University, just in Pittsburgh, Kansas, but that was the biggest town that I'd ever lived in. And I moved to South Haven.
Sure.
Moved home for a bit and then met my husband, and it's the small town communities that I could not live in a bigger city in that. And so when people move from bigger cities to our small communities here, I'm like, why would you do that? But then they say sometimes they're like, it's just too chaotic.
Yeah.
I would rather come and be able to raise my kids and show them the difference and the more connections in a smaller town.
Right. And there are younger people, and there are people from all over moving to rural Kansas and rural America. And so I think that gives me hope. And what makes it great is companies like yours, companies like mine, they can stay connected.
Yep.
They don't
work from home. Yes.
They don't have to be in a big city to be connected to the world. And you guys prove that time and again here in Caldwell and in your entire territory. I mean, I know you guys have got great stories of people who have moved here from huge cities.
New York, California,
all over. And I mean, same thing happened over in Anthony, as we had during COVID, some people move in that just saw that, we had great internet and that they could work from home, of course, during COVID. And they were like, you know what, why not?
Yeah.
And they've stayed. And I just feel like there's a quality of life. There is, of course, cost. I mean, even though everything costs a lot right now.
Can you tell us about a story that really stuck with you since you've been in the broadband industry about the power of having fiber?
So, Jenny Johnston. Mm-hmm. Jenny Johnston, amazing woman. She, first of all, she's a tremendous athlete. She's a mother of 3. She is a special needs teacher and does all kinds of amazing stuff. coach, all kinds of stuff. But she has, her youngest daughter, Mara, has physical condition that she has to be monitored all night long. And they live out in the country where there really wasn't fiber option. And when we did our expansion there in Harper County, we were able to get them fiber to their farmhouse. They inherited their her husband's parents' farm, I believe. Anyway, so we were able to get them fiber to their home, probably 5 or 6 miles outside of any community. And because they also have a camera on her at nights because she has seizures and they have to monitor her. And Jenny told me after they got fiber internet hooked up at their house, she said it was the first night I was able to sleep soundly, knowing that internet was not going to fail if Mara had some kind of issue. Yeah. And that is why we do what we do. Mm-hmm. Those are the reasons. It's that kind of life-saving. I mean, and I don't know that people realize that. You know, they think we just sell internet so people can stream and people can have, you know, good signals and blah, blah, blah. But no, we are saving lives. And I know you guys have stories like that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that to me is, and I tell that story often, I get goosebumps every time, but that's a family that will always be changed because of fiber to the home internet.
Going that extra mile.
Literally.
We talk about all the time is another mile. You can reach someone else.
For folks that don't understand, I mean, putting fiber in the ground is not cheap.
Nope.
It's like we say $35,000 to $40,000 a mile.
Yep.
If you don't have rock, if you don't have tough terrain, if you have a pretty easy shot.
Or have to bore it underneath a bridge.
Right. So if you're connecting 2 or 3 farm homes in a 10-mile radius, you know, the return on investment is not why we're in this business. Mm-hmm. It's so we can connect our neighbors and our friends and our family. Kanokla doesn't do what they do because they're trying to get rich. SC doesn't do it because we're trying to get rich. We do it because it means something to us. Yep. We live here. We work here. We want people to be connected in rural Kansas.
Yes.
So it's pretty simple. And that's that I've always, you asked about earlier about my jobs. Mm-hmm. I've always done jobs that I've hoped have benefited people. If I know that every day I'm trying to make lives and people and things better, then I can be okay.
And I wish everybody felt that way. Like, I didn't sleep very well last night, but I was very excited about this podcast and just seeing you just brighten my day. And I'm like awake now and I'm like, let's go. I want to be a Shelly Hansel today.
Yes. Yep. Live like Shelly.
Yes. Hey, all right. Well, there's some things I better tell you better not do, but but that is it. You know, every day think of what can I do to make life better, not just for yourself, but for everybody around you.
Yeah.
Good philosophy.
And so when you were saying that like Kanokla and SE, you know, pretty much do the same thing. Some people don't understand that as our companies that we actually work together quite often. Why is collaboration so important in a rural broadband as providers?
Well, because we can't get to everybody. You guys service the eastern part of Harper County. Mm-hmm. We try to get to as many out west. And because of the fact that it does cost so much and that the grants don't seem to be coming our way.
Nope.
That's a whole different podcast, and that one's not as sunshiny and happy. But the grants, the state grants, the federal grants are not coming our way as much, if at all. We're in this together because I said, we're not in this to get rich. We're in this to connect friends, family, communities. And so if we're partnering and collaborating, we can say, okay, we can't get to these guys. Do you have fiber anywhere near there? Yep. And then, same thing with us. You guys, you may get a call from somebody in Western Harper County that says, I'd love fiber. And you guys, well, hey, we don't go that far, but we would love, for you to call SC or whatever. And believe me, there are a lot of companies out there that are swooping into towns like ours, acting like they're part of the community, and they're not. You really need to do some research. We have to get our message out that there are some fake players out there, that there are some people there that are just trying to get your business and they don't care what kind of service they provide.
Yep.
So we've got to make sure that we just bang our drums a little bit louder.
Exactly.
Yeah, we like to say that we show up. Like the big box people aren't going to show up to your local sporting events to sponsor your kids' T-ball team.
Well, and right now the big challenge is satellite.
Yep.
Nextlink, everybody thinks that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
You got satellite internet and, of course, and I saw something yesterday that said satellite is best to serve rural America. And I just about lost my mind because, they can go places that fiber sometimes can't. But what happens if your satellite goes bad or if your signal goes out? Who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters. Good luck.
Yes.
Is all I have to say, is because they're trying to get somebody out to fix whatever, or trying to get somebody even within a day or two. Forget about it. I mean, and I know you guys probably have the same. We try to fix things as quickly as possible. As a matter of fact, it's part of our metrics. Mm-hmm. We look and say, okay, how long was that person on a call? How quickly did we get their problem solved? How, that stuff we all measure, and I know you guys do too.
Checking the numbers.
Absolutely, because we treat people as how we want to be treated. And that's something about rural America too.
Yes.
People in our business, we treat people how we want to be treated, and because we live here. You're going to see these people in the grocery store.
All right, Shelly, if you could wave a magic wand and solve one of
bippity boppity
and solve one issue facing rural Kansas tomorrow, what would that be?
Apathy. No question, apathy. So many people love to sit behind their keyboards or sit on the sidelines and tell everybody else what they're doing wrong or what could be done better, and yet they're still sitting on the sidelines. And I'm sorry, but if you're not in the fight, then you need to be. And if you're not part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. You can tell I get pretty fired up.
Yeah. This is how it is in our meetings.
Well, it is. And I'm not going to listen to people who are just sitting there telling me everything that's wrong when you're not trying to come up with something more positive or that's right. I mean, and I'll go out I'm going crazy here, data centers and all these, solar farms and wind farms. Everybody has an opinion. And I'm not saying your opinion is wrong or right. But I'm saying, rather than just saying what Aunt June told you, or go out and figure it out yourself, form your own opinion.
Yeah.
And if you're still against that stuff, then find something else that's going to bring that type of development and those type of jobs to small town Kansas. I'm not saying that is the way to solve all of our problems, but I'm just saying, rather than saying this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, say, you know what, I don't think this is the path we should go. Why don't we go this way?
Yeah.
Wellington is a great example. We didn't get the casino. That hurt. A lot of people were against gambling. Gambling's everywhere in Kansas. But we got a college. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of, we were always saying, what could we do to bring to our community that could be just as good as what we were trying for? So find the good.
Yeah.
Be the good.
Yep.
I could take I could go on my own tangent right now, but stop sitting and, okay, I got to watch my language, and being mean. Don't be mean. Can I say?
I don't know. We probably get canceled, but it's fine. I don't think so. But I get it. I completely agree, because everybody just wants to sit there and they just want to rant about things. Okay, then see what you can do better.
Right.
Try to find a problem for it. You just want to tell us all the wrongs.
Yeah.
Let's see what the right way is, or let's see a positive about it, though, or just, I completely agree. Come a different path.
Put your name on a ballot. You'll learn a lot real quick.
Or volunteer, especially in small towns. They're always looking for volunteers.
Always.
I know Brooklyn and South Haven, she's on a few boards there. They're always looking for volunteers for that.
You are always volunteering.
Yes,
I'm
both
always,
of you.
Yeah.
I've seen both of your names in places.
Well, and then you get to learn more about how things function. And then you realize, maybe I shouldn't have been so critical, because I didn't realize that you had to do all that or jump through all those hoops to make that happen.
Yeah.
My kids like to tell their friends that I'm famous in Wellington, which I'm not famous, by the way.
Yes,
but
you
I
are.
just
It goes Shelly from Welly, and then it goes Irma.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's be honest here. I've seen the ballot.
Yes, I agree.
But they like to tell people that I'm famous, and I like to say I'm not famous. I just know how to network and connect with the people
Yes.
I might not have the answer, but I know someone who knows someone who might have the answer.
And that's what it's all about. Let's help each other instead of knock each other down.
Yes.
Gosh dang.
Preach it, girl.
Yeah.
And that's why we're forming that group. And that
Yes.
group is with people of all different age groups, all different backgrounds,
Positive.
people who moved to Wellington from out of state, people who grew up in Wellington, who moved back from Wellington.
I saw one of the negative rants on Facebook about one of the developments, and I finally said, okay, enough is enough. I'm done with the negativity. And so I put on my Facebook, hey, let's just everybody say something positive about their hometown. And I think I'm up to like 50 some comments.
I loved reading those comments.
I'm going to have to go look at it now.
Yeah.
It's good.
And so do that. I mean, that's something that you can do in your town. You can say, hey, let's say something positive. Everybody say either a positive thing that you love about small town Kansas or some great memory that you have in your town.
Yep.
Yeah.
That alone can spark a fire. It's not that difficult.
Yep.
People make it that difficult.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. I love that comment section. I went back and was reading through it yesterday, actually, after we talked. Yeah. Again,
Little things.
Yeah.
Do it. Get off your booty.
Volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers everywhere.
Everywhere.
So we have one little question. What is a hidden gem that's in Kansas that you would like to let everyone know about?
You know, this is a tough one because I have a lot of hidden gems, but probably one of my favorite places is in Harper County and now in Harvey County. But Isaac Shue and his wife Karina have done pottery now for many years. They were art teachers, and then they took a leap of faith, and I helped them get a building in Harper County, just outside of Harper, to do pottery. And they are amazing. It's called Mostaza, Mostaza, and they're on Facebook. But now they have kept their cute little house in Harper where they have a huge gallery and a wonderful studio. And they wanted their young kids to be able to come back to the farm, to rural Kansas. And not that Newton's a big metropolis, but it's bigger. Mm-hmm. And they've had tremendous success in downtown Newton, and they're not going to give that up. They've got students, they've got interns, they've got classes. They're doing all kinds of great stuff. So I don't care if you go visit them in Newton or if you come to one of their special shows that they have at their farm.
Which one should be coming up soon? Because I love the pumpkin patch.
You love the pumpkins. I know. If you don't have a ceramic pumpkin, you're not cool.
You're missing out.
I'm pretty sure he does trees too, like Christmas trees. Yes, because I remember before he moved locations, we waited in the rain for Christmas trees.
Yes. Isaac and Karina are two of the most talented, amazing people. They're great Christians. They're raising amazing young kids, and they do things for the right reason. And I love them like my own family.
Yes.
And so now you've got two places. Now the shows in Harper are not as regular, but the store in Harvey County and downtown Newton, and it's literally downtown Newton, open most of the time.
There's your hidden gem. And again, that would be your fish brewery. That would be your
Fish
hidden
and brew.
place to go.
Yep.
They're locals.
And I'm sure there are lots of local places in Newton to eat if you go there. And I would highly suggest the Red Rooster Cafe in Harper.
There you go. Yes.
Or Christie's Cafe in Anthony.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Lots of good places.
Yeah,
Idle. Love the Idle.
If someone listens to this episode and remembers only one thing that you said today, what do you hope that they take away from this?
Get off your butt and do something. Do something positive. Every day you can make a difference. I think it was John F. Kennedy that said, each person can make a difference and everyone should try. I believe it. You could make a difference just being in a parking lot and seeing somebody that's struggling with their groceries or their car or something. Go over, help that person. Yeah. You've made a difference that day. Mm-hmm. Tell somebody you love them. Or call a friend that you haven't talked to forever. Just stop living in a negative world, because every day you have a choice. Every day you have a choice to wake up grumpy or not so nice, and then I choose positive. Yep. Every day I'm like, oh, my back hurts. You guys know my back went out. My back is killing me. My knees are bad. I have some issues, but you know what? Gosh, if I sit there and let that take over my world, how dumb am I? Go out, be positive. Do good things. Be nice.
I love that.
Be nice.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelly, for coming and being on the Kanokla Chatter podcast. I'm so grateful you're here. Obviously, you're a really good friend.
Yep.
So it's been a pleasure of mine to interview you.
Well, it has been the pleasure and the honor has been all mine. I highly value our friendships, our professional relationships, and all that Kanokla does. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we all want to be like Shelly when we grow up.